Hey you guys, welcome back to the Secret Garden Homestead. It is the 1st of March, and so I decided it's a perfect time to do a March Orchard Tour. For those of you that are new here, my name is Christina, and we have a 1-acre suburban homestead located in the Bay Area, California. And in our back orchard, we have, I think it's about 32 trees, and then we also have a citrus grove that has 9 citrus trees in it. So I thought it'd be really fun this year to tackle an orchard tour every month so that we could see the changes that are happening month after month, and kind of experience the updates, the highs and the lows of what it takes to have a young orchard. So I'm here in the back field and I'm going to show you some of the progress that's happening back here. And I'm going to start with the very worst of the orchard. Okay, starting over here, I have not 1, not 2, but 3 very dead avocado trees, I think. They do not look good at all. They still have a tint of green to them. You can see right there. They might come back, but ultimately I think we're gonna end up replacing all of them. If you look at my last orchard tour for the month of February, these trees looked great. And in between then and now, we got like a whole week of pretty intense frost, and I did not cover these avocados. And then also we did the back to Eden method on our entire orchard, and it was when we did that that these started to really struggle. So it's really hard to tell, was it that, or was it that maybe caused root rot, or was it the freezing cold? It probably was a little bit of both, to be honest. I've learned so much more, so I think we're gonna end up replanting these. Okay, now that we got the sad part out of the way, I want to move on to the more exciting stuff. Everything is starting to wake up, so I wanted to show you a couple of trees that have started to bloom. And I'm so excited because this year it's our 2nd year, and even though the trees are pretty small, I do plan on growing a couple pieces of fruit for each tree just so we can kind of test it out, see what it tastes like, kind of experience growing a little bit of our own food. So this is our Tilden apricot, and it is waking up for sure. I see 1 and a couple buds over here as well. This tree I love because to me it was pruned so well by the nursery that we got it from. I just love looking at it. It's the tree that I try and mirror when I'm pruning my other kind of stone fruit trees. So I'm excited. I definitely want to grow some of these apricots this year and try them. And then moving over to the Santa Rosa plum. These are also waking up. Look how awesome that looks. I just love those little white flowers. These can produce a lot of plums, and I know that these branches are not strong enough to hold them, so I will have to thin them out, but it's even more prevalent on this Santa Rosa plum over here. Just all those buds that are there. I believe a Santa Rosa plum is a self-fruiting tree, and so it doesn't need any pollinators to come and pollinate the tree. But I'm sure if it was to be pollinated, it would do better. Then also coming over here, I have a Japanese plum. Don't really know the difference, but it is also waking up. It's a little bit more of a mature tree, so it could probably handle a few more plums. I'm excited to learn what these Japanese plums are going to taste like. And it's not only budding, it's starting to leaf out too. I'm so excited for this orchard to stop kind of look like a bunch of sticks and start to fill out with some leaves. It's going to be so exciting. And then over here, this is our Anna apple. It's an early variety of apple here. Look how gorgeous that is. Temps here have really risen, and so this tree has definitely started to leaf out. I believe the Anna apple is more like a tart, semi-sweet apple. So we'll see. I'm excited to try the Anna apple first. I don't remember when it's ready to harvest. I think it's in maybe the June, July time frame, which is really early for an apple. Okay, and then over here by our chicken coop, this is the primary spot for all of our apples, and truthfully they're all dormant. Also our pears that are right here are also still dormant. So there's not much to show there, but the stars of the show have to be these peaches that we planted this year. Right here I have an Eva's Pride peach, and there are little blossoms on it. I don't think I'm going to let this tree fruit this year. I'll probably pick everything off. This is also an Eva's Pride peach because they're so tiny, but they are blossoming, and that's exciting. But over here, these are my two more mature mid-pride peaches, and look at the color of these blossoms. They almost look like roses. They're so gorgeous. They have this like pink bubblegum candy blossom, so pretty. I'm definitely gonna let this tree produce fruit for us this year. I'll definitely have to thin because, you know, some of these branches just can't hold the weight of how many peaches are blossoming. Like right here, this would be way too many for this poor little branch to hold. So I'll probably thin them so that they're about 6 inches apart for each fruit on each branch. So exciting. And then I have another one over here. So I really hope we get a good amount of peaches this year from the mid-pride peach. And then I also have 2 Alberta peaches, and Alberta's a little bit later than a mid-pride, and so it hasn't started blossoming yet. You can see the little buds that are forming, and it's getting ready to blossom. Maybe within a couple weeks. I think you can harvest Alberta peaches a couple weeks later than the mid-pride, so it makes sense that the mid-pride is starting to bloom. This is another Alberta peach. So that's kind of where our orchard is at currently. I do know that I'm going to look back at this and question, okay, what was blooming? What did it look like? How is the tree doing? I know it's really helpful, especially for those avocados, to be able to see, oh, last month they were doing well. What happened between February and March that made those trees not survive out here? And that will be helpful when we go to replant and figure out what we can do differently next time so that our trees don't die and we can have thriving avocado trees in the orchard. I'm taking you guys over to our citrus grove. There's also not a ton to report here. We completely and totally picked our large orange tree clean. There is not a single orange left on this tree. I think it was back in the January orchard tour, I was talking about having a desire to not buy fruit from the grocery store and instead use up all the fruit that we had growing in our backyard orchards. And we did that. It was so exciting. I think our orange tree gave us about a month and a half's worth of fruit. I don't think that I bought fruit from the grocery store for a month and a half. Maybe some bananas, but other than that, I really didn't. And it was so cool that the food that we were eating was just from our backyard. I've also not had to buy lemons because this lemon tree was loaded, and I've just been picking them as I need them, but as you can see, they're kind of running out. This lemon tree is also already putting on another flush of growth and buds, so we're just gonna have a ton of lemons. One thing that we will need to do in the next month, probably between March and April, is prune our lemon and orange trees, and I think our tangerine tree. I was nervous to do it in the February timeframe because of how cold we were getting, and our citrus trees obviously need more warmth, and so I thought, let's leave them be. We will prune them when it's a little bit warmer and they can bounce back better. So I'm really excited to do that because our trees haven't been pruned in a really long time, and I think they're looking kind of overgrown, and they could use some air in between their leaves, opening up the center a bit. So I'm so excited to do that. Over here, this is the only other tree that has something on it, and this is our grapefruit tree. I have 2 grapefruits. I think they're going to be ready come March. I've been just patiently waiting. There's only 2 of them. I'll show you what it looks like. So you can see it's just starting to get that like pink little blush on the outside, but not enough for me to pick it. So I'm definitely gonna wait. But these are a pink lemonade grapefruit variety. And this tree, I'm so excited, is putting on new growth and these tiny little buds. So I do think that we're gonna get grapefruits on this tree in the upcoming year, more than maybe 2. When we bought this property, this tree was kind of like that color, was not doing well. I just pruned it last summer. I fertilized it. I fertilized the back orchard and the citrus grove last week, and so I'm hoping that will help spur on some new growth. But yeah, I'm excited that that tree is looking green and healthy, and that makes me so happy. Meanwhile, this tree over here looks like it got a little bit of frost damage, and that's okay. I need to prune it pretty badly. I have a lot of branches just going up the center of this tree and crossing with each other, so I need to cut those branches out and really give this tree some room to breathe. And then over here I still have tiny little mandarins that are growing, so nothing to report there. This is a lime tree right here. It's doing pretty good. I don't see any new growth on it. In fact, I do see that the leaves are kind of starting to fall off. So I'll watch it. It did get fertilized. I did mulch it so that it could have a little more water retention in its pot. Overall, that's the tour of our orchard in the month of March. I am suspecting over the next couple months we're going to see a lot more blooms. I'm really excited to see how fruit develops, what things look like, maybe how we experience pests. We have a lot of squirrels on the property, a lot of birds, and so I'm gonna have to find ways to protect the little bit of fruit that we're gonna get. And then also, just as the years go by, to look back and see how tiny this orchard was. So thank you so much, you guys, for coming along with me on this orchard tour. I'm looking forward to doing one again in April, and I will see you guys on the next video.